Alright, I'm back again, and today I have a very interesting game to show you guys. Usually I don't talk about modern games on my channel all that much because, as you guys know, that I'm a huge classic gamer and I find that retro games are a lot more exciting for me. I do have a Wii and a DS and a PSP, but when it comes to modern games, I just don't care for it nearly as much as I do the retro stuff. But when I saw this game here called Atari Greatest Hits Volume 1, I mean, it combines the new technology of the 3DS is out, so I really can't say it's new anymore, but the modern technology of the DS meets the classic awesomeness of Atari games. I mean, it was the best of both worlds, so I mean, I just had to grab this. For $20, you get 50 games. You get 9 Atari arcade games, and the rest are 2600 games. I mean, they range from the Atari education games to the sports games to the arcade ports. So you get a very nice collection of 2600 games in here as well. And it's far to my knowledge that there's a Volume 2 out right now, but I haven't actually seen that, but I really would like to because I want to pick that up too. So, for $20, I mean, you really can't go wrong on getting this. So there's the game card right there, and my NHL Hits Game Boy Advance cartridge is sitting in there. And there's the instruction book, but you guys really don't care about all that. I mean, I'm sure you guys really want to see how it plays. So I'm going to get my DS Lite, and I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of what this game is all about. Alright, I got my DS out, and I have the lights turned off so you guys can see the screen in all its Atari glory. For this video, I'm using a DS Lite to record the game. As of right now, I don't have a 3DS, but luckily my girlfriend does, so I mean, I actually get to play that thing for myself. Megan, I know you're watching right now. I am so jealous. I cannot wait to get my hands on my 3DS for Christmas. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to have to try to do my best filming both screens at the same time here. So here we are at the main menu of Atari Greatest Hits Volume 1. So we'll go ahead and press start. So here we are in the very main menu. You get your choice of arcade games, 2600 games, wireless communications, we all know what that does. Extras, which I'll show you guys towards the end. This is actually pretty cool. And options, just control options for your different games and whatnot. And as far as the top screen, it just has the same thing, Atari Greatest Hits Volume 1. So, let's go into the arcade games here. So your choice of arcade games in this collection, you've got Asteroids, Battle Zones, Centipede, Gravitar, Lunar Lander, Missile Command, Pong, Space Duel, and Tempest. So a pretty nice collection of games here. My favorite, personally, being Tempest. I think that one is the most fun played on the DS here. And another interesting thing to note too is that the top screen gives a little picture of what the arcade cabinet looked like. So there's Asteroids, Battle Zones, Centipede, Gravitar, Lunar Lander, and so on. So that's pretty neat. So I guess I'll show you guys a game real quick. I'll go ahead and show you guys Tempest. There we go. Now you get your choice to use your stylus in either the play field or in the spinner mode. You can select different, control mechanisms if you want. Different players, we all know what that does. And the top screen gives you guys your instructions on how to play the game. So we'll go ahead and start. And that's pretty cool. There's the Tempest game on the bottom screen and your artwork on top. So let's hit start and play a little bit. Oop, my bad. So you control your ship there by moving the stylus around, and you shoot by holding down either the L or R button depending on what's more comfortable for you. And it's just like the arcade Tempest. I'll go ahead and play this level here real quick and I'll move on with the review. So you guys get the idea of that. So there's Tempest right there. So now we'll move on to the Atari 2600 games that this has. You can go through your different categories here, but I'm just going to go ahead and go into all genres. And you have, again, a very nice selection of games, and just like the arcade games mode, you get a little image there of what the game cartridge actually looks like. So you can go through 3D Tic-Tac-Toe, Adventure, Air-Sea Battle, Asteroids, Video Cube, Basketball, Battlezone, Bowling, and so on. So, you guys have a lot of games to choose from here. You even get a Tempest prototype that was never released. So you get a prototype game, you get Sword Quest Waterworld, which is a very rare Atari 2600 game. So I'm going to go ahead and select the game as how this is all done. And real quick to show you guys, I'll go ahead and pick the Tempest prototype, show you guys that. So down here on the touchscreen you have all the different switches that the 2600 had, except for the exit one, but you even get TV type, color, black and white, your difficulty switches, your game select and reset. So you control the different switches by using the touchscreen down here, which is pretty cool. And you play the game up there. So we'll go ahead and hit reset and start. Move using the D-pad, of course. You fire using the A button. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. But God, what a terrible, terrible version of Tempest this is. I can see why this wasn't released to the public. I mean, it has absolutely nothing to do with the arcade game. And as you can see, I absolutely suck at it. I mean, you can barely see your bullets. It's very impossible to dodge your enemies. It's just a very bad version of Tempest here. But it's pretty cool to actually play because, like I just said, this wasn't released to the public. So comparing this version of Tempest to the arcade game, I mean, there is no comparison at all. The arcade game is just so much better. So you guys pretty much get the idea of that. So we'll move on down here, going back. Wireless communications, you guys all know what that does. You can play multiplayer Atari 2600 games using multiple DS's, so that's pretty neat. Extras, that's a very neat thing that I want to save for last here. So you guys get a trivia game to play, which, to my knowledge, you can play this and unlock other Atari 2600 games, but I haven't, gotten far enough into it to find out. If you guys know what happens if you win the trivia game, let me know. Arcade Gallery gives you some artwork of the different arcade machines. So like, say, Centipede, for example. You can just scroll through the different pictures and see the different advertisements they have for it. You can scroll up and down and see what the artwork look like. So next page here. Which player is heading for victory? And just look at the different pictures, and that's what the instruction manual looked like, I guess, for the arcade cabinet. And just some other memorabilia, so pretty cool stuff here. And it's the same thing for every other arcade machine they have on here. 2600 manuals, you guys actually get to look at the manuals for all the games on this collection. But my personal favorite being you can even look at the manual for the 2600 console itself. So just like the other one, you can scroll up and down and see what that looks like. And just flip every page. And that's what the system came with back in the day. The 2 joysticks, AC adapter, RF switch, combat game, 2 paddles, and the console itself. So it replicates every page in the instruction book, all on your DS right here. Which is good for those of us who have a 2600, but don't have the instruction book with it. So I mean, if we're really having trouble hooking it up, we just pull out this game and, we know what to do. It even shows you how to insert a game cartridge, so that's very nice of them. It shows off what the different switches do and stuff like that, but you guys get the point. That's pretty neat. Let me show you guys what one looks like of a game, like, say, bowling. See what that manual looks like. Bowling, game program instructions, made by Atari. flip the page there. And it just goes down here about how to play, what the different symbols mean, like strike, spare, open frame, and whatnot. Just goes ahead and explains the game, just like every other 2600 game manual that you will see on here. So that's what that's all about. And Army Battle Zone, that's another neat thing that this has. It says, the U.S. Army commissioned Atari to create a trainer for gunners of the Bradley fighting vehicle based on Battlezone. See the prototype here for the first time. And scrolling up here, you can see the control scheme that you have for it. Your thrust, your fire, your tread and whatnot. Hit OK. Now, personally, I really suck at this, so I'm just gonna, show you guys briefly what all this is about. You have your controls down here with the touch screen. Move around down here. Your range, you can scroll up and down with that. Select through your different weapons that you got. And up here's the actual gameplay, which uses vector graphics just like the original Battlezone. Which that's just the high scores there. And that's what the game looks like. Just like the original Battlezone, but it was designed for the military by Atari. And that is pretty cool that you actually get to play this. So, I think that's all I really have to say about this game here. So, if you guys are a retro gamer like myself, you guys definitely owe it to pick up this game. It is worth every penny, and $20 for 50 awesome games, you definitely can't go wrong. So, that's all I have to say for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, and as always, YouTube, have a great day.